What was all that in the museum?
That didn't quite go according to plan, did it? And I hate it when things don't go according to plan.
You nearly killed them.
You let them catch you.
It wasn't my fault. Scotland Yard was there.
If I thought it was your fault, you'd already be bobbing in the River Thames with a bullet in your head. Someone tipped them off. I don't know who, but I'm going to find out. Where is the jewel? Ah, marvelous. But it's just half the set, and stealing the second eye will be more difficult than I'd anticipated.
Hasn't the Baroness grown suspicious?
She's wrapped up in a veil of alcohol, arrogance, and disinterest. Only flattery, gossip, and Belgian chocolate can penetrate it.
Ideal conditions.
I'll be glad to be rid of that old hag. She's my ticket to the most important museums in Europe. But these have been the longest 6 months of my life.
And what do we do now? Why are we meeting here and not in Venice like we planned?
London drew more attention than planned. They put Legrand on the case.
Nicholas Legrand?
He's searching the train.
Shouldn't we postpone the plan under these circumstances?
On the contrary, I gave him an anonymous tip.
A tip?
I told him that the train will be robbed.
You don't seriously suggest that we steal the jewel right under Legrand's nose?
Of course, because I'm an idiot. Our best bet is still Cairo. Everything is prepared. Mr. X will provide us with everything we need. As planned, I'll go to Venice together with the Baroness and board the ship there. You'll do the same, but as surreptitiously as possible.
All right.
And under no circumstances can anyone be permitted to discover our relationship. Understood?
And the rest of the plan is as before?
We just have to get on board the ship.
Then I'll get in the car and we'll meet in Venice.
No, Legrand necessitates a change of plan. You'll go by train as well, and place this envelope on the safe as soon as the train halts in the tunnel. I'll cause a blackout so that you can sneak past the guard. You won't believe who's guarding the safe. That blasted Bobby from London. If you have any trouble, cave his skull in.
And Legrand?
You take care of the letter, I'll take care of everything else. The most important thing is that no one recognizes you on the train.
And that I don't get caught. What's the purpose of the letter?
That's not your concern.
I'd just like to know whether I'm risking my life for some game of yours, or whether it's worth it.
Any one of my games would be worth your life. You just do what I tell you. Stick the letter on the door of the safe or leave it on top of it, I don't care. But the letter has to be there as soon as Legrand shows up after the blackout to make sure everything is in order. Understood?
Yes.
What?
Yes, understood. How are the injured guards doing?
How the devil should I know?
You didn't need to do that.
What? Save your bacon?
I'd have made it out on my own.
Oh yes, the poor security guard. It really wasn't necessary. I'm such a naughty boy.
I just don't want anyone to get hurt.
Oh please, please, don't be angry with me. I won't do it again.
I don't know. We have the first eye, and we only just escaped.
Tell me you're not suggesting that we should be satisfied with that. One eye alone is nothing more than an expensive bauble, but both eyes together are a legend. My greatest triumph.
Shouldn't I put the eye somewhere for safekeeping? Just in case Legrand searches our things.
I'll hide the jewel in the Baroness's luggage. I already know where. Legrand won't dare search her belongings, and even then, he'll never be able to open the secret compartment.
Okay, so we'll see each other in Venice.
And not sooner. Here, take your travel documents. We may not have an opportunity to meet in Venice.
Okay, fine. Huh, that's the first change of plans so far. Whatever. Looks like I'll be going to Venice by train. The crate must have had bananas or something in it. It's empty now. There probably isn't a single newspaper between Moscow and Madrid that's not reporting on the burglary. I'm famous. Unfortunately, not for the sort of elegantly executed theft I'd like to be known for. Burglary in British Museum, 1 casualty, £5,000 damage, culprit unknown. Return of the Raven? I'd have escaped anyway, but Inch just couldn't resist playing with dynamite. I hope the security guard recovers soon. A leather bag like the ones used by country doctors for carrying their equipment. Some of the passengers got off the train to stretch their legs, but this man started his journey right here in Zurich. He waited a good 10 minutes for the train and began to get impatient. Clothes maketh the man. Put a uniform on a short, old, rather chubby little man, and they'll show him all due respect, even if he's only a constable. The uniform alone gives him power, and that counts for a lot in this part of the world. The conductor from the train, he's keeping a watchful eye on his passengers and their luggage. The train's been held up, and he seems to want to prevent further delays. If I try to just get on the train, the conductor would probably stop me and might even turn me over to the police. I can't risk that. This is the saloon car, fully furnished with a bar and all the niceties. The ladies and gentlemen would have a fit if I just waltzed in there wearing these clothes. It's built out of thin wooden boards. Probably didn't have to bear much weight. This wooden crate is big enough to completely conceal the bag. It'd be protected from prying eyes, and I could make my exit from the scene of the crime unnoticed. There's still one problem. Someone might see me picking up the bag and putting it into the crate. Sometimes you can find useful things in a waste bin, but this one seems to have been emptied recently. They won't let me ride along in the freight car, not even if I ask nicely. If I swipe the bag, it'd cause confusion while people look for it, and I might be able to sneak onto the train. The only problem is, I can't take the bag with me. Not a chance. The doctor could easily spot me taking his bag. He'd sound the alarm, and our Swiss friend would have no choice but to arrest me, and then we'd have a real problem. Judging by the bag, he's a doctor. He radiates self-confidence, almost arrogance. I'd better not interrupt their conversation. As long as they're talking to each other, they're distracted and paying less attention to their surroundings. He'd see me if I tried to board the... I can't board the train like... This wooden crate, it'd be... There's still... If I swipe the bag, the only problem is... I don't think I can lure him away. One of the passengers. It would be best if I could get my hands on his clothes somehow. The conductor's uniform would be the ideal disguise. Even if I'd stick out like a sore thumb with these shabby clothes, I have to find something. This is the salute. The ladies and gentlemen would have a... Not a chance. The doctor could he'd sound the alarm, and then we'd have a... He'd see me if I... I don't think I can... It would be best if... Not a chance. The doctor could he'd sound the alarm, and then... It's built out of thin wood. This wooden crate, it'd be protected from prying eyes. There's still one problem. Not a chance. The doctor, he'd sound the... And then we'd... I can't board the train. Inch loves the spotlight and has a flair for the dramatic. Why else would he call himself the Raven? I don't like... What's the point of leaving... A ticket for a trip on the MS Lydia from Venice to Cairo, some banknotes, and... a passport. Blank. No personal info, no picture. Inch has brilliant contacts in the underworld. He knows the best counterfeiters, technicians, pickpockets, and con men. He remains anonymous, though. Most of them don't even know they're working for him. Mr. X, his contact in Cairo, probably doesn't have a clue who he is. I could probably pry the bottom boards off without too much effort. They're thin, and the nails are short. Perfect. It looks like a normal crate. It's now or never.
Hey, you! Scram!
Yes, sir. Let the games begin.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
Can't you see that I am talking to the constable?
The train is leaving in a few minutes, sir. I have to ask you to board it now.
We should get on. Perhaps we'll be able to continue our conversation during the trip.
I won't stand in the way. Where's my bag?
You left it right there.
I know that. I want to know where it is now.
I don't know. I'll look for it right away. If you gentlemen would get on the train in the meantime...
I will hold you and your employers liable for this.
I'm sure he'll find the bag. Come on, Dr. Gebhardt. I will help you with your luggage.
Fine.
If I try to just get on the train, the conductor... I can't risk that. The conductor doesn't really seem to know where to search for the lost bag. Finding a particular piece of luggage at a railway station is like finding a needle in a haystack. I can't board the train. You seem to be searching for something. Can I help?
Go away. There's no money to be earned here.
That's not what I mean. I just thought, if you're looking for a brown bag...
Why? Did you steal one?
If that were true, I wouldn't be offering to help you. I saw a little blonde boy take the bag. He ran off with it, over there.
Really? Thanks.
Isn't that the bag?
Where?
Nothing personal. No! Oh, man!
Let me have a look.
Damn, I can't let the professor see me. I shadowed him for days in London. He might recognize me.
Calm down, Professor. I see what I can do. You don't understand. I have to look back to my compartment.
Professor Lucien seems to travel light. The Baroness's luggage takes up half a freight car. My God, I barely look like myself. The sink, the sink. No, that won't help me now. Professor Lucien hasn't slept a single night in the cabin yet. The towel is unused. If I twist it, then I'd have a sort of rope. It was the only window that was open in the station, so it was a good way to get onto the train, and now it might be my only way out. The window to the right should be the Baroness's cabin, and the one on the left is the saloon car. The roof could be my escape route. If I stand up, my head is level with the roof, but the roof is too slanted and smooth to climb. That's the Baroness's cabin. Inch is probably with her. I wouldn't mind jumping through the window and giving them both the surprise of a lifetime, but then the Baroness would freak out, and Inch would be forced to report the event to the police. Whew. There's nothing quite like traveling on a train. I should be able to move about freely in the train, as long as I keep away from Professor Lucien. The other guests don't know me, and conductors change several times during the journey. A new face shouldn't seem suspicious to anyone.
Young man,
Yes, sir?
tell me, when did they switch to self-service on the Orient Express? Should they not have informed the passengers about that in advance?
Forgive me, sir. I was...
And what about my bag? Did your colleague find it?
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know.
I expected as much. There will be consequences. And now, bring me my coffee.
Of course, sir. Asshole. Even pigs get to drink from the finest porcelain. If I mess with the doctor, I might blow my cover. So I'll have to grin and bear it and serve our esteemed passenger his coffee. If I mess with the doctor, so I'll have to... Let's see. It fits. A lot of odds and ends. A hairnet, batteries, a half pack of cigarettes, an unused toothbrush. The bartender probably has to serve as a jack of all trades, like a concierge in a hotel. So, is there anything useful? Here we go, a small shaving mirror. There's still some coffee left. A cup of coffee for the gentleman.
Do you know what the problem with people like you is?
You mean our lack of a sense of duty, or our skin color, or a lack of respect for our elders? We have so many flaws. The old lady didn't get on in Zurich, and she doesn't look like someone from Nancy or Basel. I'm guessing she boarded in Paris. She seems familiar somehow. I think Professor Lucien is still in the hallway, trying to get into his cabin. I'd better wait until the coast is clear. The elderly woman's carer can't keep her hands still, so she's knitting. Can I bring you ladies anything? Is everything satisfactory?
Everything is wonderful, young man.
Very good. Got it. Huh. A dish with old people's candy. Butterscotch, I think. A small portable radio. I won't be able to use the radio, but the antenna, on the other hand, a thin, short metal rod that can be extended. Something like that might come in handy. Okay, if that's how it has to be, that should do it. That did the trick. Looks like a toolbox. Ugh. It's secured with a heavy padlock. The safe that I need to put the envelope on is in the freight car, but I can't just walk in like a delivery man. Ventilation shaft supplies the freight car with fresh air. It also seems big enough to climb through. I'd say I found my way in. The cover has 2 hinges on the back. It's possible to open it, but the 2 screws on the front hold it closed. I can't see anything but the rear of the car through the slots, and that won't do. What I really... I could use the mirror to get a look at the front of the car, but my arm is too thick to fit through the crate.
Hey, my pistol!
You'll get it back in Venice. Frightening me like that. I could have fallen under the wheels.
I thought you were a ghost.
Ghosts don't exist.
They do too. One just flew past my window.
Be off with you.
Oh, man.
I can use these.
Phew, that was close. He left the lock open. How convenient. Let's see. A wrench, you don't say. This is too easy. First, I need to get an overview of what's awaiting me in the freight car, and then I'll take care of the cover. The cover has 2 hinges on the back, but the 2 a wrench from the I can't, that won't... guarded by my old friend. Even he would be curious to see it. Candy is so sticky that it'll hold the mirror without any trouble. As I expected, it sticks. There's the guard. The safe is directly beneath the ventilation shaft. I could shimmy down the shaft and hit him on the head from behind. Uh-oh.
Are you okay, Robert?
Nothing to report, sir.
At ease?
Any suspicious passengers come aboard in Zurich, sir?
Not really. It could be anyone and no one. But we've received support from the Swiss police. A certain Constable Zellner.
Oh?
Very motivated. Might get on our nerves.
That limits my options. I can't overpower two people. I don't think I'll be able to slip into the carriage unseen after all. Oh, there has to be a way. I have to keep Inch happy. How do I get you onto the safe? Or on top of it? The safe is directly beneath the ventilation shaft. And Inch said something about a blackout and a tunnel. I could use the moments of confusion and darkness to toss the letter onto the safe. Might work, as long as I manage to open the ventilation shaft and choose the right moment. I could unscrew the screws, but I should only open the cover instantly. What was that?
Sir! Must have fallen out.
Put that on the floor.
Yes, sir.
That was close. If the second screw makes that much noise, it's over for me. No way. If the second nut also hits the floor, Legrand, my only option will be to jump. The ring. I'd love. No, I don't need it. They should have been able to open the door with pliers. I think the coast is clear. also in the compartment. He'll probably find some excuse to sneak out to trigger the blackout, and no idea how he expects to pull that off. He usually leaves me in the dark about such things. Even after months of partnership, he still doesn't trust me completely. Is this a Stradivarius, or something like that? If it is, maybe I should take it with me during the blackout. With any luck, I'm gonna be a happy family man soon, and I'll need a few francs, lira, or marks. Self-control, side jobs always lead to complications. There are enough unknowns in our plan as it is. No need to add more. The violinist was already on the train and she loved... He seems to be worried about something. So much the better for me. If he's absorbed in his own problems, he won't be paying attention to anyone else, and won't be able to offer good testimony to the police. Some maps, info for travelers, some pictures, and the schedule, all neatly hung up with magnets. Won't work. There's a lock at the bottom of the window. Maybe. The big map shows the different routes the Orient is larger than the other notices, and thus hung up with larger magnets. I'll take one with me.
All right. We should...
What? The light's gone out.
Flashlights! Ah! Get off me!
There, sir. An envelope.
My dear Nico, you should take a closer look at the box. R.
What the dickens? It's a...
Away with it! Take cover!
What's the meaning of this? What do you want here?
What was the point of the bomb?
Isn't that obvious? I wanted to dispose of Legrand as spectacularly as possible.
You almost disposed of me as well.
Did I not tell you to deliver the letter and leave immediately?
People could have died.
But of course, that was the point of the bomb.
I don't want to hurt anyone. You know that.
And you know that I don't care what you want. Obey my orders and nothing will happen to you, and you'll soon be a rich man.
I won't blindly obey orders anymore. I want to know what the plan is.
You know as much as you need to know. We will steal the second eye in Cairo, before the eyes of the world. The theft of the first eye got everyone's attention. Legrand's death would have increased the excitement immeasurably, but this will do just as well. We'll have a showdown instead. The Raven versus the Inspector. That should also electrify the press.
Why are you doing this? I thought it was about the jewels. Why are we making life difficult for ourselves and attracting so much attention?
It's about more than that. It's about performing on the greatest stage of all. About the end of a legend. You'll see when it's time for you to see. Until then, just do as I say.
But
James! James! Where on earth are you?
During the trip, we'll keep a low profile and steer clear of Legrand.
I lost the ticket and the fake passport.
I swear, if my arm was still good enough to climb, I'd have disposed of you long ago. Oh, well. I'd prefer that no one see you while you're on board. Smuggle yourself on board and stay under cover until Cairo.
Okay.
And no more games. Nothing that Legrand, the police, or anyone else could do to you compares to what I will do to you if you don't follow my plan.
James, there you are. Is the inspector to carry my luggage onto the ship all by himself?
He thinks he knows me. He thinks I'm stupid and weak. I have him right where I want him. Here's a young thief who'll show an old-timer how it's done. Even if it means a bit of solitary confinement. I hope the dock workers have left the cargo hold. I better just take a peek. Or at least, I'd take a peek if it were possible to open it. Feels like metal. Angular. I think it's the trunk lock. Okay, where's the screwdriver? Knife. There's the screwdriver. So, if I just turn this... aha! Oh, you're kidding me! Seems to be a strap for holding something on the shelf above the trunk. Unfortunately, I can't reach the clasp. The stuff over there doesn't look like it was recently loaded. Probably part of the ship's inventory. 2 metal pipes, stable, about 10 meters apart. And then it'll just tie itself around the pipes? Not gonna happen. Oh, brilliant! Hopefully the clasp won't slip out of the box when I pull the strap. The pipe rolled up against the shelf, but it's still out of my reach. I can't reach it! How's that supposed to work? The strap won't tie itself around the pipe. Looks like I hit the jackpot on my first try. There's nothing more to be had. Oh! Oh! Not a chance. Too far away. The ship may be showing its age, but those pipes look more than sturdy enough. All right then. I'll just drive the blade through the end of the strap. The knife isn't stuck firmly enough in the strap to endure a throw. I'll pull it out and try my luck with the metal clasp. Oh! I can't reach it. It's worth a try. Ta-da! That should hold. My best chance. Steady as a rock. Elegant. Oh, great. Okay, I'll tie him up and then get out of here before they start looking for him. And I already have an idea where I can hide.
I can't imagine that he'd just leave.
Yeah, and without saying goodbye either.
No need to be frightened, young lady.
What are you doing here?
I wanted to see you.
This is hardly the time or the place. What happened on the train?
Nothing bad. Everyone is fine.
Inch is dangerous. I warned you.
I know. That's why we're being careful. And you have a smart and handsome young thief at your side.
And humble, too.
Don't worry. I'll take care of you.
What have I done to deserve luck like this? Inch bothers me. He's shown what he's capable of. What if he finds out about our plan?
How would he? We're careful.
He's more ruthless than we expected. The bomb on the train. I don't want to think about it.
We need to make sure that we stay calm.
You mean that I stay calm?
I'm not worried about you. I know you.
Shall we go over the plan one more time?
Good idea. We know that Inch hid the first eye in the Baroness's luggage.
I'll break into her cabin and replace the eye with a fake.
Right. We'll steal the second eye in Cairo.
And Inch will be caught in the act.
It's simple.
The devil is in the detail. I have to get into the Baroness's cabin undetected, then find the secret hiding place, and I can't leave any evidence behind.
Yes. And Inch said something about a combination, so the hiding place might be locked.
One step at a time. I think I'll assess the situation first.
And I think I'll make myself comfortable for a little while.
So this is how married life will be.
Works for me.
Everything went according to plan in London?
Except for the explosion, yes. The Bobby was right on time.
Because he had a good tip-off.
I had enough time to take the eye, but unfortunately there was no time to replace it with the fake.
Where is it? A work of art. Almost as beautiful as the original.
I can't tell the difference.
Inch could. But if all goes to plan, he won't have a chance to take a closer look at the jewel until after the burglary at the Egyptian Museum. Will Legrand cause any trouble?
Everything's still going according to plan. That means he's clever, but not clever enough.
And the Bobby?
Peasant's cunning, nothing more. He won't be able to solve the puzzle on his own.
There's still Inch.
He doesn't suspect anything. We laid the foundation well. I've been his assistant for months already. He doesn't trust me, but he thinks he can play me for a sucker. That's enough.
Speaking of Inch, I saw him talking to you in Venice. What was it about?
He was angry because his attack on the train failed and because I lost my ticket.
How did you get on the ship?
As a stowaway, locked in a cold, dark cargo hold.
Poor boy. I'll go out now and lead the police and master thieves around by the nose.
I can think of something else to do.
I can't.
I'm sure I could help you if...
Stand aside.
If you told me what you're looking for.
You're just getting in my way. Now get out.
I'll wait at the door, madam.
Yes, yes.
Oh, Miss...
Mayers.
Can I help you?
No, I'm just having a look around the ship. Good day. Oh, that was close. Practicality was definitely placed ahead of design here. I guess the Lydia regularly docks at harbours that don't have their own gangways. And rather than make the passengers climb ladders, they opted for the less beautiful alternative. A classic. The thief enters through the ventilation shaft. Can it really be that easy? No, it can't. The cover is screwed shut. No idea what kind of flag this is, but the pole it's attached to could be very useful one day. It's about 80 centimeters long and looks quite stable. Yes, it's sturdy, but it's also too cumbersome to carry around. No, there's no gap to put the pole in. I can't force the cover open. This should be the entrance to the cargo hold. Not really my concern. Lovely big towel. I hope tomorrow I'll have a chance to sunbathe and enjoy the rest of the trip. A deck chair in the sunshine on a cruise ship. I'd be a fool to miss out on that tomorrow. But I have to take care of my duties before I can relax in the sun. Ah, lovely big towel.
Bravo! Bravissimo! Fantastico! Ha ha!
Would it be okay for you if I get some fresh air up on deck?
Of course, my dear. Give my regards to the sea.
Wooden salad tongs, just small enough to carry around unseen. The salad tongs won't be... Several journals and magazines. Ah, this looks pretty interesting. Art and Culture Today. Ah, there's something about the exhibition. Unique masterpieces exhibited for the first time together in their home country. Tireless efforts of Baroness von Trebitz. We briefly discussed whether we should try to steal the second eye here on the ship. The lack of escape routes and the 10-centimeter thick door to the safe settled the question. Very fine handiwork. The model maker even wrote the name of the ship on the tiny life preservers. But the winter garden at the back of the saloon is missing, and the stern deck looks different. It was obviously made before the ship was remodeled. Maybe one of the crew whiled away the long nights at sea building the model. Only someone with a lot of time and a love of the original could build such a thing.
Come in. How can I help you, young lady?
Are you the ship's doctor?
Yes, of course.
You see, that's what I thought, because you've got a uniform and you work in the medical center.
Well spotted, young lady. My name is Dr. Gebhardt. How can I help you?
What are the other passengers like?
Listen, young lady, I do not really have time to chat right now. Today is my first day, and it is going differently than I had expected.
You do seem a little stressed. Maybe you should relax. Stress isn't good for you.
You're right. If there is nothing else I can help you with.
But you weren't really helpful at all. Maybe I'll come back later. Bye now. I could tie the bath towel around the pole, put the pole across the ventilation shaft, and climb down with the help of the towel. Sounds like a plan. All the first-class cabins have their own ventilation. The shaft might be my best point of entry, but unfortunately, the cover is screwed shut. A wonderful concert, wasn't it?
I wouldn't have expected you to be a connoisseur of classical music.
Because I'm American?
Because you're young, and friendly, and radiant. Someone like you doesn't have to know a lot to get along well in life.
Are you easily prejudiced at your age?
In my long experience, there's often a core of truth at the center of every prejudice.
Prejudice is the reason of fools.
Was that written in the book you once read?
Oh, I've read many books. Good books.
But not my books, you mean to say?
You're a writer?
Mm-hmm. What can I do for you, Miss...
Mayers. You know, I'm not planning on throwing myself at a man.
I'm glad to hear it. You have to work. Earn your own money.
Oh, I will. My grades are excellent, and I really want to study acting in New York.
None of my books has ever been made into a good film. The stories were twisted, shortened, and simplified so that even the dimmest fellow could follow them.
I want to do theater and travel. I speak 3 languages.
That would be 3 more than most people your age can speak. Do what you have to do. But stay away from bad men.
Is this your first trip on the Lydia?
That's quite enough. Life is too short for conversations like this. I do wish that rather delightful Swiss policeman had come along.
I heard you had an interesting trip on the train.
It was thrilling. I'm hoping for an encore. Perhaps in Cairo.
Mr. Kreutzer possesses impressive technique, don't you think?
He certainly does. His numerous playmates in Austria can tell you more about it than I.
You mean Mr. Kreutzer is a womanizer?
I'm not talking about cheap skirts. I'm talking about expensive clothes. A man like him needs funds to support his lifestyle. Just go over to him, my dear. Tell the maestro that your family is wealthy. You have everything he's looking for. Money and a pretty face.
Hold your tongue. Mr. Kreutzer, Lady Westmacott, please.
Or did you have your eye on me, Mr. Kreutzer? Old, yes, but rich.
Jezebel. Mr. Kreutzer, Maestro.
That's better. Freeloader.
You and Mr. Kreutzer, you seem to know each other.
Not really, but I know his type. Parasites who cling to the rich and famous and suck them dry. The young, misunderstood painter. The innovative writer who writes books that no one wants to read. The musical talent that has to be supported. The ladies and gentlemen of high society let the others use them and call themselves patrons. Another word for fool.
Didn't you finance archaeological excavations in the Near East and Egypt?
For my husband, and I was there myself. I catalogued items for him, and I didn't show him off like a trophy at cocktail parties. But my son was one of them. The worst kind. The kind that sucks not only the money, but also the life right out of a person.
May I take my leave?
You may.
curling, shuffleboard, all the same to me. I'm not interested in any of that now. The two of them seem to be in a private conversation. I'd better not disturb them. When Adil and I were following the professor in London, I was disguised. But that doesn't mean he won't recognize me now. A handsome man and a talented musician, but he doesn't seem very happy. Hello, Mr. Kreutzer.
Do you want to have a go at me, like the old witch in there?
I just wanted to talk to you.
Now is not the best time.
I just wanted to tell you that I really loved your music, and that Lady Westmacott did not have the right to speak to you like that.
Really? How do you know? You don't know me.
Then, did she have the right?
No, she didn't. That cynical old witch enjoys exposing the weaknesses of others, although we all have them. She as well. She lusts for recognition and acts as though it weren't so disgraceful. She rejects prizes and awards with snide remarks, but she's angry when others receive them. She needs to know that she's better than others.
You seem to know her quite well.
I've only met her once or twice, but I know her son and some of her friends. One friend of hers supported me for a long time. No one is brave enough to say it to her face, but everyone hates her.
Her or her success? You're so talented. Why aren't you performing on the world's great stages?
Fate, perhaps. Or bad luck. My parents opened every door for me and my sister and expected corresponding careers.
Overambitious parents who force their children to play music?
No, it wasn't like that. I loved it. I loved to play the violin. They didn't have to force me. I wanted to do it on my own. I thought I would achieve my goals if only I worked hard enough. But it was not to be.
What happened?
In a more dramatic story, I'd say that I broke my hand just before my big break, or that I was rejected because of my nationality or my name, or that I was brought down by a conspiracy. But nothing like that ever happened. I practiced like mad. I got better and better, really good. But nothing happened. The right people never heard me. I was never in the right place at the right time. Can you imagine how it feels to always be on the cusp of a breakthrough? To be just one evening away from becoming an overnight sensation? To see how other, less talented violinists pass you by because you just aren't lucky enough?
How terrible.
For every star in the limelight, there are a dozen more that burn out unseen, fading month by month. I didn't want to be one of those people who waste their lives chasing dreams without realizing that they're unattainable. If I couldn't have the life that I always dreamt of, and that my family expected from me, then at least I could have the next best life.
The next best life?
Mansions, limousines, parties. Everything you could wish for. Though none of it belongs to me.
The lady called you a freeloader.
An ugly word. But maybe not so far from the truth. I move with the rich and famous, and at first glance, I live exactly the life my father always wished for me. A carefree life, easygoing. And I play the violin, which I always loved to do.
But it's not really like that.
It's empty. My life is just a shell. A show. And everyone knows it. I loved something once, and I burned for it. But now, the violin is just an accessory for practicing my real profession.
And your family?
How could I ever look them in the eyes? A failed violinist who gave up.
What does the future hold for you?
Isn't it obvious? My hands are starting to shake from alcohol. What will be left once I lose my good looks? I'll have nothing then. And so I'll put an end to it all.
You can't say things like that.
with my father's pistol. I always have it with me. It's gone! Fate won't even grant me a quick death.
Don't you think you can still make it?
No. It's too late now. The real question is, did I give up too quickly back then?
I don't know.
Thank you for listening.
Goodbye, Mr. Kreutzer.